From being ignored to becoming unstoppable. Good evening, everyone. Let me begin with a question that many brave women quietly carry in their hearts. Have you ever felt invisible in a room full of people? Not unseen because you lacked value, but ignored because others failed to recognize it. Many powerful stories do not begin with applause or encouragement. They begin with silence. They begin with a woman whose voice was overlooked, whose ideas were dismissed, and whose presence was underestimated. Tonight, I want to talk about that journey, from being ignored to becoming unstoppable, and why that transformation is not rare, but rising all around us. Being ignored can feel like a slow erosion of confidence. It teaches you to doubt your worth, to shrink your dreams, and to question your voice. But here is the truth most people don't tell you. Being ignored often means you are ahead of the room. It means you carry something unfamiliar, something bold, something that challenges comfort. History shows us again and again that women who later changed lives were first overlooked, laughed at, or silenced. The turning point was never when others started believing in them. The turning point was when they stopped waiting for permission. The shift begins quietly. It starts the moment a woman decides that her value does not depend on validation. She begins to listen to herself more than the noise around her. She learns, she grows, she builds resilience in places no one is clapping for her yet. And this is where strength is born, not in recognition, but in preparation. While the world is busy ignoring her, she is busy becoming. This is the phase where discipline replaces doubt, and self-respect replaces fear. Then something powerful happens. The same woman who was once ignored starts to show up differently. She speaks with clarity. She walks with confidence. She no longer explains her worth. She demonstrates it. Her consistency becomes impossible to overlook. Her courage disrupts expectations. And suddenly, the room that once dismissed her begins to pay attention. Not because she asked them to, but because unstoppable energy cannot be ignored for long. Becoming unstoppable does not mean becoming loud or aggressive. It means becoming unshakable. It means knowing who you are even when others question you. It means turning pain into purpose and rejection into redirection. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every silence becomes fuel. And every ignored moment becomes a reminder of how far you have come. Many people assume that silence equals weakness, but let me tell you a truth that every brave woman knows. Being quiet, being overlooked, or being ignored does not diminish your power. It is often where your strength is quietly forged. Think about it. Some of the most influential women in history were not immediately celebrated. They were underestimated, dismissed, and even told they didn't belong. Yet, it was in that very silence, in those moments when no one was watching, that their resilience, creativity, and courage were cultivated. When the world fails to see your worth, it is not a reflection of your value. It is a challenge to rise anyway. Being ignored forces you to look inward, to discover a voice that does not rely on applause. It teaches a woman to trust her instincts, to sharpen her vision, and to cultivate patience. The whispers of doubt around you can become the fuel for your determination. When you are told you are not seen, you learn to see yourself with clarity, to recognize your own power before seeking it elsewhere. Every unnoticed effort, every contribution that goes unacknowledged, every moment of being overlooked is an opportunity to build invisible armor, to develop skills that will one day speak louder than words ever could. It is in these moments of being unseen that many women discover their true capacity. They learn that influence does not always start with recognition. Sometimes it starts with endurance, with showing up even when no one is paying attention, and with making consistent progress while the world underestimates you. Brave women understand that the foundation of greatness is often built in quiet moments, when no one is cheering, when no one is validating, when success feels distant. The work done in silence creates a momentum that becomes unstoppable once unleashed. The key is to embrace the invisibility instead of resisting it. Instead of letting being ignored feel like rejection, see it as a secret advantage. While others are busy seeking approval, the woman who is ignored has the freedom to focus, to learn, to grow, and to become stronger in ways that cannot be rushed or replicated. Every quiet hour, every moment of dismissal, every overlooked opportunity becomes part of a journey that will eventually culminate in undeniable impact. When a woman who was once invisible finally rises, she does so with a force that cannot be ignored, because her power was never dependent on anyone's acknowledgement. It was always hers to claim. Waiting for others to recognize your worth is one of the biggest traps that holds women back. But the truth is, validation is fleeting, and approval is never guaranteed. Brave women understand that their value cannot, and should not, depend on someone else's acknowledgement. Every story of triumph begins the moment a woman stops asking for permission to shine. When the world doubts you, underestimates you, or even dismisses you, it becomes an opportunity to strengthen the one thing that truly matters: belief in yourself. That inner confidence becomes a compass, guiding you through uncertainty and lighting a path that no external approval can dictate. Believing in yourself when others do not is not easy. It requires courage, patience, and a deep understanding of your own potential. Many women wait for the right time, the right opportunity, or the right person to notice them, but brave women refuse to wait. They start acting, creating, and moving forward with the conviction that their contribution matters, even if it is unseen. Every small step taken with confidence builds momentum, and each act of self-belief compounds into a force that eventually becomes impossible to ignore. It is not arrogance, it is clarity, it is focus, and it is the recognition that your journey does not require an audience. When you stop seeking validation, you also stop being distracted by comparison. Brave women rise because they understand that their growth cannot be measured against someone else's recognition. The applause of others is temporary, but the certainty in your own abilities is lasting. Each time a woman chooses herself, trusts her instincts, and honors her own voice, she is laying the foundation for a future where she is unstoppable. Confidence becomes self-sustaining, resilience becomes habitual, and determination becomes relentless. Self-belief transforms every challenge into an opportunity. When others doubt your vision or dismiss your efforts, your conviction becomes your armor. The more you trust yourself, the less external opinions matter, and the more unstoppable your journey becomes. Every successful woman's story has a chapter where she had no one cheering for her, yet kept going anyway. That is the turning point, when belief in self becomes louder than any doubt in the room. That moment is where ordinary circumstances meet extraordinary courage, and where women stop asking to be seen and start making sure they cannot be ignored. Every moment of being ignored, overlooked, or underestimated is not a setback. It is a classroom where resilience is taught, and brave women learn lessons that cannot be taught any other way. Life has a way of testing strength in silence, and it is in those quiet, challenging moments that grit is forged. The obstacles that feel unfair, or the dismissals that sting most sharply, often become the catalysts for growth. Women who rise against the odds do not do so because the world made it easy. They do so because they learned to turn hardship into preparation, rejection into refinement, and adversity into unshakable determination. Resilience is built in the shadows, far from applause or recognition. When a woman faces repeated setbacks or constant disregard, she has two choices: to let the experience diminish her, or to use it as fuel for transformation. Brave women choose the latter. Each time she is ignored, she sharpens her focus. Each time she is underestimated, she strengthens her resolve. Every dismissive word becomes a lesson in patience. Every obstacle becomes a step toward mastery. The training ground of resilience is quiet, but it is effective. The moments no one notices are the ones that define her readiness to rise when the spotlight finally comes. The process of building resilience also teaches self-reliance. While waiting for encouragement or recognition is tempting, a woman who masters resilience understands that her power lies within. She learns to navigate challenges without validation, to trust her instincts when guidance is absent, and to keep moving forward even when the path seems impossible. The more she experiences being overlooked, the more she develops a mindset that is impervious to negativity. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to act despite it. Resilience is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to rise stronger each time struggle occurs. What is remarkable about resilience is that it compounds over time. Each ignored moment, each dismissal, each challenge faced in silence strengthens the foundation for future victories. Women who embrace these experiences do not just survive, they evolve into forces that are unstoppable. Their strength becomes magnetic, their presence undeniable, and their achievements impossible to overlook. The world may not have prepared them for recognition, but it inadvertently prepared them for greatness. When a resilient woman steps forward, she does not stumble. She moves with a certainty and power that can only come from having been tested, tempered, and strengthened in ways that are invisible to the casual observer. Words can be ignored, promises can be broken, and recognition can be delayed, but action is undeniable. Brave women understand that the most powerful way to be seen is not by asking for attention, but by consistently showing up with purpose and excellence. Action speaks louder than any opinion, and when combined with courage and determination, it becomes unstoppable. Every step taken toward a goal, every challenge met with resolve, and every effort made in the face of doubt communicates a message far stronger than any words could. You cannot dismiss what is relentless, and you cannot ignore what is inevitable. Taking action requires courage, especially when the world has underestimated you. It means moving forward even when the applause is absent, even when recognition is delayed, and even when no one seems to notice. Brave women take that step anyway. They understand that visibility is earned through persistence, consistency, and unwavering commitment to their vision. The woman who acts while others hesitate creates momentum that grows stronger with every deliberate choice. What may begin as small, unseen efforts gradually builds into something larger, something impossible to overlook, and eventually, it commands attention without ever needing validation. Action also transforms influence. A woman who consistently delivers results, who rises above doubt, and who pursues her purpose with courage, becomes an example for others to follow. The energy of action is contagious. It inspires, motivates, and sets a standard that cannot be ignored. Brave women know that being unstoppable is not about forcing recognition. It is about creating a reality so powerful that the world has no choice but to acknowledge it. Each effort, each risk, and each deliberate choice compounds over time, turning once invisible work into undeniable impact. Perhaps the most profound aspect of action is that it turns setbacks into stepping stones. Every obstacle encountered becomes a lesson, every dismissal becomes motivation, and every ignored moment becomes an opportunity to demonstrate capability. Brave women do not wait for permission. They create their own momentum. They do not ask to be seen. They make themselves impossible to ignore. Action, when combined with resilience and self-belief, transforms potential into achievement, silence into a statement, and doubt into proof. The world may try to underestimate, overlook, or ignore a determined woman, but relentless action ensures that her presence, her power, and her accomplishments will always speak louder than any doubts cast against her. As I close, remember this. Being ignored is not the end of your story. It is often the beginning of your power. Do not rush your rise or doubt your journey. Keep showing up, keep growing, keep believing. Because the world may ignore you for a season, but when you step into your strength, you won't just be noticed, you will be unstoppable.